just to put it in perspective,
Okay.
where women have gotten to is actually pretty crazy. I mean, everybody on the panel, as far as females, are everyday normal people, women, and
Mhm.
haven't had BBLs. And I would say probably most women haven't had them. But when you look at the
Mhm.
women who actually have, it's a little crazy. K. Michelle is probably a great example. Obviously, she's in um, hip hop community, R&B community,
Yeah.
black community, and the stuff that she went through is crazy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just mind-bogglingly crazy what
Mhm.
someone will put themselves through. And it's
Yeah.
strange because as a man, we're not even on it like that. We don't even make our decisions about who we want to be with. It's not that big of a deal.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like, before I play this video, I'll liken it to this. As a man,
Mhm.
if you went and got a penis enlargement, and you got your dick to be 14 inches long, like,
Mhm.
that's the level of sickness it is if you parallel it to men, that we
Yeah.
want our dick to be that long, and the women are like, I'm not even thinking about that. I don't even
Mhm.
want to be with somebody that. But if men think like that, and it
Mhm.
just becomes
Yeah.
crazy, you have this level of body parts that's just freakishly strange. You know what I'm saying? So,
But can I
not to
say something
mention,
real quick? To
huh?
Can I say something real quick to your point though? You said that men are not even thinking that way. We're not. Y'all don't even think it's that serious. You're not making any life decisions based on that.
Hmm.
But the problem is that there are a lot of men leading women to believe that if they look that way, then they will, oh, well, I'm looking for a woman who looks like this.
Mhm.
I've watched a lot of dating shows, right? And I've heard
Listen,
a lot of men.
I'll let you ride. I'm looking at B, and he's making the
No,
same face.
I see that face. And I'm
We
not,
we
look,
we
I'm
want
not
to we
saying,
want to have that argument. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this show. We want to have that
I'm just
argument. Go
saying,
ahead.
Mhm.
and I'm not saying all men do
Mhm.
this, but
Uh-huh.
there is definitely a population of men who mislead women into thinking that I want a wife or a girlfriend who looks a certain way, and
Mhm.
a lot of men, and these men, these are probably not the best men, right? But they go on
Mhm.
these reality shows, and when they start describing what they're looking for in their future wife,
Mhm.
they one of the first things they talk about
That's true.
is their physical
I
attributes.
mean,
What they want their wife to look like. Yeah, I want my wife to look like a model. First of all, she got to look like a model. First of all, she got to look like this. She got to look like that. And they don't even talk about any of the other important attributes in a
mhm.
life
Okay.
partner. Okay, so
Yeah.
I feel like these type of things and these type of men out there
Mhm.
tend to perpetuate these ideas. And like I said, these are not the best men. These are not the pillars of society
Mhm.
necessarily. And a lot of people who buy into urban pop culture ideas like this, a lot of times they may not be the most mature or have other
Mhm.
things going on. So it's a cause and effect. One side moves the needle, the other side moves the needle a little bit further.
Mhm.
So both of those sides. So even though there are men, good, decent men, who may
Mhm.
not make their decisions based on a big booty, you have another faction of men who are out there, the flashy, the playboys, who give these women who may be naive, obviously, the idea that they need to look a certain way in order to get this
Whose fault
attention.
is that?
And they feel like they
Twin,
need to look a certain way in
you,
order to get the
I,
attention
I,
for
I'm gonna,
money purposes.
I'm gonna let you spread this malarkey for right now.
Oh
I'm not
no,
going.
it
I'm
was
Wait,
not
before
very
gonna
you
well
go to the
even.
put.
video,
Malarkey?
whose fault is that?
I'm not even gonna dispute it yet.
Malarkey? Are you
Let me.
Oh my
serious
God.
right now, twin? Are you serious right now? That's not
No.
malarkey.
Okay, it's
Ooh.
partial. It's partial malarkey.
Well,
Partial, at least partial
Oh
I
my
malarkey.
feel like
God.
the
But
problem
but
is
B,
like,
let me
Hold on, Gina Rose, Malika.
Yes.
Yeah.
well let me
Did what
play.
I say make any sense to you?
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Let
It
me
was very well said. Very, you know, you have to
Very.
play
Okay,
devil's
thank you.
advocate because
let me
just like we,
let me play
okay,
that video for
okay,
y'all real quick
okay.
though. Real quick. I want to play this video.
According to the American Society for Aesthetic Plastic Surgery, the Brazilian butt lift is one of the fastest growing surgeries with an expected 61% increase over the next 5 years. But listen to this, it has a death rate of 1 in 3,000. And that might not seem like a high number, but some doctors say this is way too risky. Joining me now is Dr. Anthony Yoon. He's a holistic plastic surgeon and he's based in Troy, Michigan. Good to see you, doctor. Explain to us why this procedure is so risky.
Yeah, there was an interesting study that came out several years ago that showed that the death rate with this operation, the BBL, where you would take fat from one part of the body and inject it into the buttocks, was 1 in 3,000. And we believe it's due to fat emboli, where if you inject fat into the deep muscles of the buttocks, that fat can actually pass into veins and blood vessels. It can go to the heart and lungs. People can die almost instantly from it. Excuse me.
Oh, that's very serious, and people don't realize that. You take a holistic approach, though. Is that different than traditional surgery?
So yeah, there's a lot of other ways that you can enhance the buttocks. Now, the first thing is that this study came out a few years ago, and there have been some changes to the techniques. And so for those people who are interested in this operation, it's the only way to really enhance the buttocks in a major fashion. But you can do it safely if the fat is injected not into those muscles, but into the subcutaneous fat of the buttocks. And that can be done if the doctor is using the right technique. And most plastic surgeons now, they know the technique well. The problem is that people who aren't plastic surgeons, doctors who are performing this operation, who are actually real plastic surgeons, may not know this, and that could be very, very dangerous.
Absolutely. Now, doctor, why do you think this surgery is becoming so popular?
Well, I think it's just kind of the culture, the zeitgeist. The buttocks are a very popular part of the body over the last several years. I think the Kardashians had something to do with it, and a lot of the entertainers. And so this is a part of the body that is so focused on. It's all over social media, and there are doctors who are performing these operations on social media and promoting them and making it look like it's super, super easy to have done.
Just to give some perspective as to what's happening, because even if you're doing it correctly, that injection can go through a vein and you could have a stroke. And from what I'm reading with a lot of stories, that's what's happened to a lot of women. They've actually had strokes from getting these surgeries. But back to Twin's point when we were talking about okay, you know what, let's do it like this. B, before you respond, let Malika and B rock. As far as Twin's point, I'm not saying it's all malarkey. It's part of it's true. I give you that for sure. But as far as men's influence of women, what do y'all think about that?
I agree. I think the key word that you said was the misleading part. You know, sadly, a lot of people were not brought up. I'm not saying this is it's just the reality of it. A lot of people were not built up, taught how to just all those things, and that it's more than just your body, and that the right partner will love you for you. It's more so. And then let's talk about social media's influence. Even when you could be the toughest cookie and just catch yourself, like, whether it's an ad, whether it's just like just watching, and we're so much on our phones, and people, of course, are not put in their real lives, so they're just, that's one snippet of a made up, you don't know what's going on for real, but you're seeing happiness, quote unquote. So I feel like, yes, I do
Right.
believe that men's influence has definitely had an impact on that. Hmm.
Okay.
Um,
What you think,
I
B?
I agree with my ladies because that's what a lot of guys say. Physical first. Guys are natural lookers. Like it's all
Sure.
about what they see right in front of them.
Hmm.
Most of the time. And it's like, okay, yes, once they get to know someone, their personality, that's a whole different story. But they're looking at that. And that's what caused
Absolutely.
all these women to go out, get these backdoor BBLs, risking their life, like just to look a certain way. And just like said earlier, y'all said just to get the attention. That attention from the men is just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's doing something for the self-esteem of certain women, and it's
Mm-hmm.
terrible. And the crazy thing about it now is guys are saying what, like B said earlier, we like, we just like women for women, right, for who you are. And now women are trying to reverse their BBLs. Like, what is going on? They're trying to take the stuff out because guys don't even,
because
want it
because
all the time. Like, what's happening?
it's seeking attention, but the wrong attention.